Welcome back. Now, I'm joined by Cristina, who is here to discuss how one of the most important lessons to teach a child with autism is the lesson of play. Good morning.
Good morning.
The lesson of play. I mean, it seems like something that truly comes naturally for most children, but for children who have autism, that doesn't come naturally. Why is play so important for them?
That is true. Play skills are really easy for typical kiddos, but for our kids, it's really hard because they have to be aware of other people. They have to learn to reciprocate actions, to build on other people's actions. So those are all hard skills for our children with autism. Now, play is really important because it's the first medium through which we practice social skills. Right. And kids start practicing those social skills very early. Like one of the simplest games is a peekaboo game, right, which is really easy, but for a child with autism, because of those deficits, it's really, really hard.
Wow. Okay, so then play therapy then comes in as a potential treatment option. But there's a distinction between play therapy and then just a play group. Talk to me about that distinction.
Well, basically, play therapy works on helping the child act out their anxieties, their conflicts. Play skills groups work on teaching the child how to use those social skills, how to use eye contact to initiate an interaction, how to build on other people's responses, how to be aware of what other people are doing around you, and all those skills are taught through a play group.
Okay, so what are some of the differences that you're going to see? If you've got a standard play group with typically developing children, and then you have a play therapy group with children with autism, what are going to be some differences that we're going to see with the children?
Well, first of all, when children have free time, on a child with autism, you will see them going on their own and playing independently. Second of all, their play is very repetitive, so they will do the same thing over and over on an object, and it's also non-functional, which means that they're not using the objects for the purpose they are designed for. Third, and I think the most important thing, is the fact that they're not aware of their peers. So if you put a child with autism next to peers, they're not aware that another child is next to them. Basically, they stick to a script that they previously learned. They don't build on the other peers' actions, they don't reciprocate, and then they don't imitate.
Okay, so we're seeing some video of a play therapy group with children with autism. Tell me, what would be an example of something that you would do in the treatment process within this type of context?
Well, we will teach the children what being part of a group means. Being part of a group means that you are in the same space and you're next to your friends, not in a corner playing by yourself. Second of all, we teach children that we use our eyes and our bodies to show interest in other people, that we pay attention to our friends, and we only talk when it's our turn. Those are just a few things that we teach children.
Pretty basic stuff.
Yes.
But in this context, I would imagine it could make a monumental difference in the life of a child.
It does, because it prepares children for independent living.
All right.
If you're not aware of your friends and your peers, you can't get a job or maintain it.
Right. You have to have those social skills.
Yes, you
so
do.
important. Okay, you've been doing this for a while.
Yes.
And you've had the benefit of being in these play therapy groups and working with these kids. Can you tell me of an example of a child who started off in one state and through the benefit of play therapy is in a completely different state?
Yes, I can give you the example of little Chandler, who when we started 4 years ago, she would not get out of the car to go in a group setting. She would just cry, and it would be very, very hard. We slowly got her to go into a group setting, but then she would not leave our side. I mean, it was just it was terrifying for her. And nowadays, Chandler is able to function in a group setting. She's able to build on other people's reactions. She's able to imitate. She's able to initiate and maintain a conversation.
Really? So from not getting out of the car to now being in a position where she can actually participate and engage in a conversation.
Yes.
That's dramatic. And I think it's also important that it was early. You start off early. Over and over I've heard early intervention is one of the most important things you can do.
We started with Chandler and when she was 14 months, and we did one-on-one therapy for the first 2 years, and the last 2 years there's been some one-on-one, but most of the time she spends her time in group settings.
That is so exciting.
Yes.
What a wonderful message of hope that you're giving to families that may just be receiving this diagnosis. So thank you so much for being here. And tomorrow we will be hearing from a couple who lives every day with the reality of autism. They will shed some light into the challenges and joys of raising a child with autism. In the meantime, take a look at my blog at WFAA.com/parent.
It'll be a stomping good time on Wednesday.